of USD worth of cake from the auto compound fees. And they also did another reward boost, about 10% for all the farms, which was kind of cool. Pancake Bunny, as expected, I said it as soon as it happened. Projects that get exploited when their tokens like $450 each and are not, and then dumped to like $1 from a flash loan attack, they don't recover. Okay, especially in these market conditions, but they're not going to recover to 450. So, they are now trying to migrate over to Polygon, not to discontinue BSC, but to kind of make some presence on Polygon. So they have this thing where you can stake ETH to get Poly Bunny. Aragon, they're partnering with Venus by accepting XVS and Vi as a form of payment. Aragon is essentially like a decentralized job board for developers. Hyperjump partnered with Ren Protocol. And ApeSwap partnered with YieldWatch. And ApeSwap once again did an airdrop of their NFAs, non-fungible apes. And lastly, just kind of what we went over on the educational call last week. As I mentioned, I always like to make these educational calls for the time being relevant to you guys, because most of the people who stop by BSC chat are people who understand how it works. And once we launch the platform itself and the Bacon token, the educational call structure will change. But we went over how to interact manually with contracts, how to basically interact with the contractor farm on the back end, how to check for rugs, how to adjust your gas fees to avoid inefficient sites. And that was really cool because even for people who understand BSC like the back of their hand, most people don't know how to do this, because when a project creates a pool, it's up to them to make sure that the gas fee is low. And a lot of them, even the reputable ones under CertiK audits and everything, they don't have an efficient, pool coding to where instead of paying the typical 26 cents per transaction, you're paying like $4. And so by going in the back end, you avoid that completely. Also how to do emergency withdrawals. And lastly, how to deposit and withdraw on the back end. So if the website goes down or something. So it was all because it was very complicated, and because I know not everyone can make it, and it's a very important topic, especially with all the rugs happening. I also put it in a PDF, and I pinned it in the BSC chat. So if you couldn't make it, I put it there for you guys step by step. So thank you guys, and hopefully we don't have any flash loan attacks or rugs next week.
It was a bit of a far stretch, but we can hope for the best. Thanks for the comprehensive overview of BSC for this week, Viper. Appreciate that. I didn't know about how you can adjust gas fees to avoid inefficient sites. Is this something specific to BSC?
No, because BSC is a fork of ETH, and most of these layer 2s are as well. No, yeah, so you can do it. It's really annoying, especially with yield aggregators, where I want to harvest or deposit. It makes no sense to pay $4 or $5, when you can do it on the back end in a matter of seconds, and pay the bare minimum, 26 cents.
I gotta look a bit deeper into how that's done. Even that's not making much sense to me in the doing it in the back end part, but I'm guessing that's
check
something.
out that PDF.
Yeah, I gotta check it out. That's learning something.
Because I'll say this, and I'll say this with the audits. Not only do they check for security and safety and migrator codes and stuff, but they also check efficiency of the contract. And so a lot of times you'll see the audit, if you read it, it'll say a low risk or medium. Most of the time it's low risk, and it'll say not efficient or whatever. But the protocol, they don't care, and they're just like whatever, and then they continue with their project. So like, there are things that must be changed under audits, but also suggestions to make their contract more efficient, and most people don't go above and beyond to make it most efficient, and they just let it go.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta check this out. Okay, thanks for the coverage, Viper. Next up, we have our Polkadot ecosystem news and developments, covered by our contributor Mahi. Mahi, what's up?
Hey guys, today I'll be discussing Polkadot and Kusama news and developmental updates. But focusing on developmental updates just to keep it short. First and foremost, the first ever Kusama parachain slot auction has been won by Karura Network with 501,000 Kusama raised. Karura received KSM backing from over 15,000 unique stakeholders. Karura has been built and launched to serve the DeFi demand of the Kusama community, while Akala will soon launch to serve the DeFi demand of the Polkadot ecosystem. By launching on Kusama, Karura can push the limits of what's possible, giving the Akala Foundation team a place to launch bold new financial innovations, allow riskier financial parameters, and try new collaterals. Karura will access Kusama's plug-and-play security while enjoying high-capacity processing speeds, micro-gas fees, and interoperability between multiple networks, and ultimately bridge to Polkadot. So, if you didn't know, Karura is the Kusama parachain for Akala, which is certainly one of the most advanced DeFi hubs for Polkadot. Akala is for. So basically the point of their Karura branch on Kusama is to start building DeFi and testing it on these ecosystems. So that was the result of the first ever auction. So then on June 22nd, the Kusama Council approved Motion 313, which started the second parachain auction. It's currently in its ending period as of June 24th, and bidding will close on June 29th. So like in the first auction, the VRF will retroactively pick a block between, like I said, the ending period, June 24th and June 29th, and whoever's the top bidding team at that block will win the auction. So it's looking likely if you look at the link. It doesn't like tell you the bids from this link, but among these teams, Moon River has the most funding, or they have the most successful crowd loan by quite a bit actually. So that's what I think will happen.
Okay. Yeah, I see it too.
Yeah. Polkadot version 0.9.6 was released. This fork was implemented to combat the finality lag Polkadot faced this week. Once enough validators update to 0.9.6, this version should speed up the finalization on Polkadot, which has currently been 50 blocks behind the target, and set it to, I think, 2 to 3 blocks behind. So the full link of that is in the link too. Also with version 0.096, set a minimum amount to nominate. Nominators now need 0.1 KSM or 20 DOT to nominate validators, or else their account may be chilled. In the future, improvements to the nominating system are being developed, and better estimates as to the maximum number of validators that can participate are being determined. These fixes came as a bundle of staking changes after mass nominators threatened network scalability. And I think I heard they're gonna set the maximum validators on either Polkadot or Kusama to 20,000, and they just made it so you have to have some credibility and KSM or DOT in your wallet to nominate a validator. One final note. Due to the major changes in the 0.9.6 update, Ledger Live temporarily won't support DOT. Ledger said they are working on getting this working in a future update. In the meantime, you can still use Polkadot.js to manage DOT and KSM. I just included this just as a note. It's really not efficient to use Ledger Live to manage DOT and KSM. Polkadot.js is the way to do it, because Ledger Live didn't even support KSM, but that's just a note. I think they'll get it back working for those who just want to hold the token and not actually use the ecosystem. So that's all for this week. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mahi, for the coverage on Polkadot and Kusama. I think the most interesting thing that I'm also following is the crowd loans and parachain auctions, and there are actually some funds that are starting now dedicated for participating in all kinds of crowd loans, and yeah, I think those are interesting too. Also the ledger part, I mean, I'm a ledger user, but when I was first setting up the Polkadot and Kusama wallets on ledger, the Kusama one did not work. I still can't get it to work when interacting with like the web apps, like how you would with MetaMask. You can't, the Polkadot.js, the connection there, it just doesn't work for me. And I have a Nano X. I'm not sure what it is, but I can't get it to work. So at the very best, I can store some KSM on the Ledger wallet, but I can't really, interact with dApps on it. So hope to get that working soon. Actually, that would be very convenient for me. So right now I'm actually using just a Polkadot.js and a backup. So not the most ideal. Okay, well, that I think Polkadot and Kusama overall will start to heat up if altcoins don't completely, once they stop dumping, when the overall market's picking up again. These parachain auctions, we have been looking forward to these for a very long time. These are probably the main events for the past year and a half, 2 years, right? That has been talked about over and over. I would say if you're a long-term believer in Polkadot Kusama ecosystem, now is a decent time, honestly, for entries, because they're very much roll back to the previous levels. But hopefully markets can recover soon. And next up, we have low cap and layer 2 coverage by Luke. And let's just start off with the low cap and layer 2 fundamentals type of coverage for news this week. And then we'll dive also a bit into Bitcoin dominance after in the TA section with Luke again. So Luke, what's up?
Going, guys. As far as news has gone the last couple of weeks, it's been a little slow along with the market. But we had some news this week in regards with Rarible. Rarible is an NFT marketplace, for those who don't know. They just closed a $14 million funding round led by Venrock and Coin Fund. With the money, Rarible hopes to pioneer a new NFT movement. That's all that they have disclosed that they're going to do with the funds, which is really vague, especially considering with what they do. But I wanted to mention this week. I thought this was a little bit too big to not mention, and I hope that they do a lot with the money. A gem that I've been watching here recently, and I've seen you mention too, Bacon, was Yield Games.
Yeah.
They're a DAO that focuses on investments in in-game NFT assets.
Yeah.
So, like a lot of DAOs, they'll collect assets or NFTs or whatnot, but they don't do much with these assets. While Yield Games, they plan to sell off these assets. So, like if they'll buy like Decentraland land or something, and then they'll sell off this land in the future. And they're also going to be renting these assets out. So I think the main ones that they're talking about now is Axie.
Yeah.
And that they're going to be renting out. I haven't looked too much into Axie, but they're going to be renting out the Axies or something. I haven't looked too much into the game, so I'm a little naive. But as a big believer in these in-game NFT assets, this is a project that or a project like this, I would be definitely willing to throw some money at, as I think the renting of these in-game assets could be a big market.
Yeah.
And that's all within regards to that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to jump in here?
Sure. Yeah, I'll jump in. So Yo-Go Games, so a very high level, right? They're a DAO that has a treasury and a community that votes on what to do with the treasury, very similar to us. But their really cool thing is their DAO is focused on accruing value through the play to earn economy. So right now, the best example for that is Axie. So Axie has these like Pokemon like stuff, Axies that you can collect and battle in 3v3 battles. And when you win and etc., you can actually make money from it by like gaining. Back in the day, it was gaining experience and breeding, and as you breed, you create new Axies which can be sold. So there were money to be made already back then, but nowadays there's also a what they call a scholarship program. I'm not too well versed in this either, but essentially it makes it even more legitimate to play and earn an actual living. And in kind of Southeast Asia, it's really popular, specifically in the Philippines. A lot of people are playing Axie as a full-time job and it's more than able to support their living. So that's the thing they're trying to capitalize on. Is some of the Axies are very expensive. So these people in the Philippines, they can play with like very basic Axies and not have the best chance, but in the same kind of someone in the Philippines is already typing in the chat. But yeah, with a let's say Mystic Axie, you have probably has a much better chance, from what I understand, to make more money. So Yield Guild is a DAO that pulls together money that can buy like 100K worth of like super expensive Axies, rent these out to their dedicated players, and then these people can make more money for themselves, and also part of that revenue stream goes back to the rental of those Axies into the DAO treasury. So it solves the efficiency there. It generates yield for DAO treasury, and these people, they make more money, so naturally they will want to participate in the DAO. So this is a really cool specific use case that they discovered in the play to earn economy for NFT games. I know the founder too, Gabby Dyson. We've traded NFTs before. Very cool guy. And in terms of launch, I think they're launching on July 27th on SushiSwap's Miso IDO Launchpad. Miso is kind of still under the radar because some projects don't perform that well on there, hit or miss still. But for this one, I probably will want to participate as well. So definitely look out for that. Back to you, Luke.
So that was all it for news this week. Not too much with the market. It's been slow. But with the curriculum this week, or last week, we had to cut Friday's class due to the gaming tournament. It was just a little bit of conflict of timing, and the gaming tournament was delayed, I think. But anyways, the class will resume this Friday, the 2nd, and this class will be Crypto Money Flow Part 2, which will have lots of valuable information for every trader. So even if you don't like low caps and you only trade large caps, mid caps, then there's still tons of info for you in this. So should be worth your time, definitely.
Awesome.
For those who want to check it out.
Yeah. Thanks for the coverage there, Luke. I think you bring up a couple things every week, but I think they're all very actual, practical opportunities. YGG here specifically, I've been watching this too. But yeah, we'll talk about Bitcoin dominance in a bit also with you. But so this is a good segue into the next segment, which is our Bitcoin, Ethereum TA analysis and a bit of Bitcoin dominance. Of course, led by your favorite TA analyst wizard in the Discord, Wonka. What's up, Wonka?
Hello, Vivi. That's quite an intro. Thank you. What's up, guys? Another week of boring market. Thanks for coming and tuning in for the weekly call. I'm very honest, from a friendship point of view, I'm very bored with the market. There's nothing happening. But I assure you that I see waves are starting to develop, so I believe we will be out of the range from 42 to 30, be out of the range soon. I'll be sending guys the charts and events content as usual. And let's start with weekly scale. So both scenarios that we've been following for past 2 weeks or 3 weeks, they're still in play. This is the bull trap scenario that I see. A lot of people will basically get trapped here. The bulls and the bears as well, most likely. This scenario will be validated if we manage to break 41,000. And we'll most likely see a three-wave advance here, just right before shooting downwards. And I guess we'll basically make lower low than 28,000. The second scenario is that we are already in the bear impulse. This is the daily scale. And if we manage to break 34.7 thousand, that will likely confirm the bull trap scenario. And I'm sorry guys, this is the bull.
This is still the bull trap. Yeah, just zoomed
this
in.
is still bull trap scenario. Yeah. So if we manage to break 34.7 thousand, that will likely confirm the bull trap scenario, because that impulse from 21,000 to 34 and down to 31 will be wave 1 and 2 of the wave A, or you can say wave B in the macro trend B. And still in general we are in the sideways motion, but as I said, I'm seeing that waves are starting to develop, and we'll soon figure out which type of wave is developing. The next chart is the bear impulse. So this is the tricky part in waves, because you always have alternates, and you always have to take decision to which one to follow, right? But the best part of waves is that it tells you the best stop losses, how to manage your money here. This was a little out of context, I'm sorry. So this is the bear impulse, and if we manage to break the 30.3, that means we are likely to be in the bear impulse, which is going to take us to 20,000 with several stops, maybe at 26 and then to 20,000. So the invalidation points are that if we manage to break 34.7 thousand, we are likely in the bull trap scenario that is gonna take Bitcoin to 48,000, just right before shooting down to 26. The bear impulse is validated if we manage to make lower low. So basically, we came down to this, guys. If we make higher high, we're bullish with the not really bullish, like bull trap, right? If we make lower low here, then we are likely to be in the bear impulse. And this scenario is, I favor this one, not only because of my views or something, but in the bull trap scenario, a lot of people are gonna get hurt.
Which one do you favor? Bull trap or wave C and bear?
Yeah, bear impulse, definitely.
Okay, interesting.
So the thing is that if we go up to 48,000, it's just gonna prolong the things. It's gonna consume a lot of time, and a lot of people are gonna get hurt there. So if we just go down now, things gonna.
Oh, do you mean? Oh, you mean like preference, not so much like what you think is more likely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As of right now, I'm neutral. Like, yeah, because if you guys take a look at the last two charts, you see like 34 and 30, right? So it's in the middle right now. So I cannot I'm gonna trade according from where the Bitcoin is going to break out. So I guess this is it for the Bitcoin, guys. Not much has changed. Therefore, I'll jump on Ethereum right now. And if you remember, guys, on Ethereum I had a triangle there, and if there was the triangle with A, B, C, D, E, I've changed the count, and I'll explain why. If there was A, B, C, D, E in the triangle, the consolidation area, then that means that Ethereum is only in wave 1, which means there are 4 more waves to go down. And it's kind of unlikely to me to happen, because If that happens, that means it's a major bear market. Therefore, there is one more case, the one that I drew here, which is ABC, and we're likely heading up in wave 4, right before going down for wave 5, and my target is around 1,100, 1,300, those ranges. But in the meantime, in the following weeks, I do not expect alts to do much. They will be following Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes up, they will go up as well. If Bitcoin goes down, they will go down as well. And if Bitcoin ranges, they will range as well. You won't see major pumps from altcoins. This is 1-day chart, and if this is the wave 4 going up, then I'm looking forward to get to 2,100 ranges. Fibonacci range of 50 from golden pocket to 50. I'd like to enter short there, put my stop loss at 100% of retracement for Ethereum, which is where the wave 2 peak is, and ride it till down. And the stop loss I put there is, the reasoning behind that is because that's where I know I am wrong with my vision, right? So before entering any trade, guys, I exercise to think always, where am I wrong here? So based on this, I know that if we take out 2,500, I know that I'm wrong there with my wave count. That's it for Ethereum. As I said in summary, that it's still raging. It's not gonna do much. And for the last thing, guys, on Bitcoin, this is the daily chart. And why do I think that we will pump here? Even though both my scenarios are bearish and my bias remains bearish, there is one thing here, guys. If you take a look at the volume, usually when you bottom out, you get hammered candle, right? You hammer it with a lot of huge volume, and hammer candle, and we got that. The moment we broke down from 30, went to 28,000 and back above it, we hammered there. Look at the volume, guys. It's
I wonder
insane.
how those will look weekly. This might be like a weekly hammer too. Let me just check.
Yeah, weekly it looks like kind of hanging man or something like that. It's still not positive. Like in the green side, I mean.
Yeah.
So, by just forgetting waves and everything, this volume analysis and candlestick pattern analysis is telling me that we will go up here, that the bottom has hammered. Therefore, since I see also that this might be the bear impulse, I'm not triggering the bullets here. I'm waiting for it. There's a lot of waves to come that we can trade. Usually, in wave 1 and 2, the sentiment is still low. And if this is 1, 2, then yeah, we see that sentiment is still bearish. And I'd rather wait, guys, confirm that we break 34,000, 34.7 thousand, and then I'll build up the trade to enter the market. That's it for me, guys, today. Market is boring, there's not much happening, but I'm assuring you guys we'll soon leave this range crap market, because I see the waves are starting to form. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Wonka. I think I mostly agree with you there as well. In the first part of what you think is likely, you know, if we go up to a bull trap out of this range above, like first above 35, then above 41 would be a clear break, would mean we're heading towards something like 50K. This is something that I've been talking about for like the past month and a half. Is like, I'm not panic selling, but on the next bounce, I'm going to take profit at around 50K, probably sell half of all my Bitcoins. So I agree. I think that's likely to happen. If I were to bet on, you know, just two scenarios, right? Like you said, other ways or not, right? We break below 31K, then that would be the C wave of the other wave, you know, the last wave of the correction, which is still hasn't finished. If we break down below 31, then we had to lower. pretty much everyone on the internet is expecting that now. And they're like, oh yeah, this is looking weak. We're going to go down further. If that just goes down, then like everyone will be very easy because they're all like, oh yeah, you know, we expected this. Usually that's not what happens. Usually it's the pain scenario where like, oh wait, what? It started pumping again? Yeah. Was I wrong? Do I buy in now? So a lot of people end up buying in at like 45 to 50K and getting trapped. So yeah, I favor that scenario as well. Now after that, let me just draw on the chart. So the two scenarios is if we break down below 31, then this is the wave C of the correction. This is wave A, B, and C. And then more likely scenario is, I think, you know, and I've said this on Twitter now, is like, I think this 31K was the bottom. So if we, at least in the short term, so if we make a double bottom here, and then we break above here, start making higher lows like this, I think the clear, you know, indication will be break above 41, then we probably should test about 50. Now, the way to play this is definitely not to long around 45 to 50K. Now, once we get this, right, everyone will be bullish at 45 to 50K. But there's, zooming out, there's no clear indication that is the start of a new uptrend. That is, whether that is a dead cat bounce or a start of a new uptrend, it's not clear. Just like right now, is this a bull market? It's not clear. Everyone will say that this is a bear market, but it's absolutely not clear yet. And same thing when we get up here, we need to see the reaction to around 50K, which is like, you know, we've been talking about this every week for the past month and a half. Yeah, like I'm also in the camp that I think 31 is likely the short-term bottom, and we should see a bounce towards 50. But this doesn't mean I'm gonna long all the way up and then like 50 is just gonna for sure we go up higher. No, I'm probably still going to sell a lot of my Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't hold much Ethereum anymore short term, so I'll probably sell most of my Bitcoins, at least half, between like 45 to 50K when on this next move up, if we get it. And then that doesn't mean I think it's going to go down much further. That I have no idea. I think it's like 50-50. I think once we get up to test 50, I'll be really watching this very closely, right? If we show a lot of strength and we just like clearly get above to maybe test even 60K, then I'll probably buy back most of my position around 50K on the retest. But if we see a clear rejection, then that's very iffy. Then I'll probably sell even more. So I'm not so sure about the next move, whether that's like gonna head straight down after as a bear trap, bull trap for sure. But I definitely would advise against like calling this like just full on reversal too early. So yeah. So yeah, I think I agree with what you see on the markets right now as well. Is watching again like 30K range. I would say 31K. We don't even want to close daily below 31. If we do that, I'll probably sell, you know, at a loss already. But until then, you know, I still think move up for a relief balance is very likely. Okay, so that's that. On Ethereum, I'm honestly not so sure I understood like your USD charts, but just kind of what I'm watching on ETH BTC. Assuming like Bitcoin doesn't make a new all-time high anytime soon, then, you know, ETH is probably going to underperform Bitcoin like we've discussed with this, you know, double top with a lower high already. And we have now, you know, broken below this long-term support, diagnosed support trend line there. So yeah, I told you guys everywhere that I was kind of selling my ETH into Bitcoin at these kind of higher levels. I think this will continue to go down, probably another like 20% or so against Bitcoin. If you just map from this down to here, Yeah, 25 to 30% drop ETH versus Bitcoin. So that means either ETH stays still at the current price and Bitcoin pumps 25 to 30%, or Bitcoin stays still but ETH bleeds another 25 to 30%. That to dollar price, however you will. But I like to look at ETH BTC a little bit because like dollar price isn't the most accurate in this regard because we don't know what Bitcoin is necessarily going to do yet. But I do think Ethereum will underperform Bitcoin. And I think that's a good segue into the Bitcoin dominance part. Luke, I'm not sure if you're still here, but I'll go over your charts for Bitcoin dominance as well. I think we will mostly agree again.
Yeah.
Let me just bring this up.
Yeah. So. Yeah, for the past couple of weeks, we've been agreeing for the most part.
Yeah.
Do you have them pulled up?
Yeah, I have the weekly chart now.
Okay, perfect. So on the weekly, we have this weekly trend line from DeFi summer and that Bitcoin dominance has been respecting for some time. Recently, we had the double bottom. And then, real recently, we just had a strong. Looks like we're going to get a weekly close right on testing the weekly trend line resistance here.
Yep.
And yeah, I think in this market right now with the uncertainty, I think we're going to go up a little bit higher, or we're going to continue to go up. But right now, that's where we're at on the weekly.
Yep.
And yeah, so moving on to the daily, Bitcoin dominance. So yeah, we got rejected from the weekly trend line. We got rejected from the weekly trend line. We've come down to a weekly or daily support. My bad. That was made a little while back, a month ago or so, and Bitcoin dominance has respected this support, and it's testing the weekly trend line again. Moving on to the 4 hour. Sorry to just blow through these, but moving on to the 4 hour, we can zoom in a little bit here, and we're currently above the weekly trend line, but there's just nothing too strong close either way. There's not a strong enough close through the weekly trend line, and we're not getting rejected yet. We just got to wait and see how this unfolds currently. We might continue to get pushed down by the weekly trend line and form a descending triangle. And but I like I said with the weekly chart, and in this market, I suspect that we're going to continue to make higher highs. And I think it's pretty obvious. I hold no altcoin positions currently. I have been scaling into Bitcoin, but currently I hold no altcoins, as I think Bitcoin dominance is going to go up and Bitcoin's going to steal all the liquidity.
Yeah. That's
if I can add something on Bitcoin dominance, guys. I love your chart, Luke, and if BB, if you can put it back,
which one, the
dominance chart?
Weekly or daily? Or
the last
4 hour? Okay.
Yeah, that one. No, sorry, it was
daily.
I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah.
So this is corrective move up, guys, on Bitcoin dominance. I haven't seen that before on my charts, but I saw it on Luke's chart. You have 3-wave advance, and you can expect one more wave up, and then after Bitcoin dominance just making lower lows here.
This is kind of one reason why I've been more bullish on Bitcoin recently, is because we have this liquidity flowing back into it. So this is why I've been accumulating, but this is a whole other argument right here. Yeah, so because of this Bitcoin dominance reversal, currently I don't think altcoins are a strong play, and even with virtual Bacon's analysis on Ethereum, Bitcoin, when that support gives and Ethereum makes lower lows, then I suspect Bitcoin dominance to definitely pull back even harder.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring up your
Bitcoin,
chart. Yeah, yeah, for sure. So basically, yeah, Wonka's saying also this is an uptrend in Bitcoin dominance. I agree too. We've been saying this for a long time. I think Wonka likes to look at it from anyway perspective. Luke is looking at like a bit more conservative with this weekly, resistance here in orange, the diagonal one. For me, I was pretty convinced already, just from kind of usually what I see as like very high hit rate type of patterns in crypto is like these double top or double bottoms with a higher low or a lower high. So that's what you see on ETH BTC and BTC dominance. So I was pretty much convinced this was going to head much higher in when we kind of formed this here. So even before this breakout, usually, as long as the neckline is clear enough, I don't even need to wait for the breakout of the neckline. But yeah, now that this has broken above, I think the long-term diagonal isn't, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. I think we can all agree that Bitcoin dominance is clearly an uptrend right now. So altcoins are going to underperform Bitcoin. To put it in a bit more practical terms, that doesn't necessarily mean that altcoins will lose value in dollar terms. So if you are a new participant in crypto, you might think, I'll hold altcoins because, Bitcoin go up, altcoin go up. Yes, but altcoins will lag behind Bitcoin. So essentially you're taking on like much more risk because altcoins could potentially drop much further than Bitcoin. But at the same time, you're not having more reward because in the short term, at least, when Bitcoin goes up, altcoin will go up less. So it doesn't make any sense to be in very risky altcoins right now, not even Ethereum, in my opinion. So yeah, that's why, see it for what you will. It's not the best time to hold on to even your favorite altcoins. Just by shifting your portfolio to be skewed into Bitcoin, even if you think market is going to pump, right? Bitcoin will likely go up more than altcoins will go up in the short term. So that means when Bitcoin dominance here eventually has topped out again, and we start a new alt season as people become confident in altcoins again, you can actually buy back your favorite altcoins like Ethereum or Cardano, Polkadot, whatever, Solana. You can, because your Bitcoin will have appreciated more, so you have more capital to buy even more Ethereum or whatever altcoin after. So that's kind of how I'm taking it. Is I'm in Bitcoin right now. On this next bounce, if it happens, my Bitcoin stash will go bigger than my Ethereum stash could potentially grow, and then I'm still bullish on Ethereum long term, so I can just buy back more Ethereum. That's what trading is. Some people have come up to me and said, why would you sell your Ethereum now? It's like, if you believe in it long term, why would you ever sell? Like, I'm a trader. I don't know, like, what are you talking about? Yes, I invest, but you're kind of watching the wrong video here. If you all you want to do is hodl forever, then why are you concerned about even this market so-called correction? It shouldn't be in your time horizon anyways if you're that long-term of a investor, right? So just gotta be honest with yourself what you're trying to accomplish here. So so looking at Bitcoin dominance, not holding any altcoins right now, not even Ethereum, waiting for what happens next. Either Bitcoin pumps, then altcoins won't pump as much, or if Bitcoin just kind of continues ranging right between 31 to 42K is the range I've been watching. Let me just bring that up, right? If Bitcoin continues to go sideways, just kind of chopping everyone up, confidence does not come back in, then the likely scenario is altcoins continue to bleed. In this case, it still makes more sense to be in Bitcoin because your Bitcoin relatively is holding value quite well, right? Between 30 to 40, 31 to 42K, while altcoins go down a bit further. This would translate to eventually when there's a clear move again, you conserve your capital and you can buy back your favorite altcoins, more of your favorite altcoins. Yeah, so that's the strategy I'm taking, and it looks like Wonka and Luke has also in part agree with me. We have our specific altcoin picks, etc., and what we think will happen after, but I think we're all taking intelligent decisions here. So yeah, that about sums it up for all of the prepared content we have for today. Let's do a bit of Q&A. We actually are quite ahead of schedule today. It's only been 1 hour, so we'll do maybe 10-15 minutes of Q&A. Across both Discord as well as our YouTube stream. Yeah, so that's the two main places that we have an audience right now. Let me just bring up the YouTube chat as well. But yeah, Discord people, if you have any questions, drop them in the events chat. That's the place that I'll be, monitoring very closely right now. Whether it's a question about Bitcoin, TA, anything at all, pretty much regarding to crypto, or if you have specific questions for one of our contributors, what they have talked about, something you found interesting or you didn't understand, monitoring very closely right now. Whether it's a question about, yeah, okay, just drop them in the chat and we'll go through it. So let me scroll up a little bit as well to see, do we have Bacon merchandise? We do have that planned. We have a partnership with Uniquely. They do these NFTs as merch. So that's something crypto related, but we want our merch to look like very high quality and very like something you would prefer to rep instead of just like logos slapped on a black t-shirt. So still a lot to do for work there. But yeah, we definitely have merch planned. I see Luke has linked Yield Guild games. Yeah, so this one, I think we honestly just our community here is at least recently it's we don't have that much of a viewership. So I think all you guys should be able to get a chance to participate in their IDO Miso Launchpad, because I don't think they run a whitelist and they don't sell out that quickly. Could be for this one, but what's your opinion on ICP? It broke the perpetual downward trend today. Nope. Fundamentals, it's pretty trash. TA wise, also pretty trash. Let's look at. I know what the chart looks like. It's like started off at around $400 and now it's like $30. I don't think they rugged. They started at a very bad time of the market, right? Pretty much exactly at the market top. So it's not a good idea to look at it fundamentally and try to show yourself into like, oh, this is going to change the world, whatever. It's just a speculation, and speculation is highly driven on by Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance, right? So as long as market hasn't set back in, market confidence hasn't come back for Bitcoin, ICP is not going to be the outperformer out of all the altcoins, right? So don't look at the ICP chart individually. At some point it will come back, but not until Bitcoin dominance has topped out and confidence comes back into the altcoin market. Did they rug? From what they locked investor tokens and sold theirs. What?
Yeah, so the little bit I know about it, first of all, I was never too keen on ICP just based on their governance. It's like they're staking and whatnot, but beyond that, what happened here recently was they locked their investor tokens. So like when they went live on these centralized exchanges, they locked their initial seed investor tokens so they couldn't sell off, and they got in at a few cents, mind you. But what ICP did in their organization is they sold off their tokens while everybody else is locked out. So I don't know the full scope of and the full details of everything, but this has kind of been the news of crypto Twitter for the past couple hours. So
That's pretty. That's rough. ICP is like made by Definity or something, right? Like
yeah,
a pretty.
I think they just rebranded.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Wow.
Yeah, they made off with billions of dollars in liquidity,
Damn.
and I see a lot of people saying that it's what caused the bull market to end. But it's all speculation.
That's pretty big scale. I mean, they're a very big project. I thought they were very legit, but damn. Okay, thanks for that update. I wouldn't FUD about it too much in my mind. I think, what goes down a lot will eventually come back above, but that doesn't mean you go catch their bags, right? You're like you wait for the trend to clearly show that it's coming back. But yeah, that sounds like pretty shady. So Meta Charshu asks, will you still add R market and ArcX here? Yes, I'm still putting money into R market and ArcX because yes, they kind of dropped like 50% since past 2 weeks. But fundamentally, right, it's I know fundamentals are a meme right now, but there's investing and there's trading. I'm not trading these two. I'm investing in them. So when you look at investing, it's valuation, right? So our market currently, like our KSM is under $200. I think it's like 170. So that means 2 KSM per 430 R market tokens or so. So $340 for 430, like something like 80 cents per R market token, and they have a total supply of 10 million. So that's 8 million, right? Total diluted valuation. So total market cap. And if you just compare that to any sort of like protocol plays that are major, that have major partners in the Polkadot Kusama ecosystem, right? They are the official kind of NFT protocol that Kala and Plasm and all these big parachain auction potential winners, Kala is already a winner, are using to issue their own NFTs, right? So if you compare that scale, 8 million total diluted, right, it's very small. So even for last week, when I bought, it was like around 20 million, the total diluted. But in my mind, that was way undervalued as well. So when you're investing, you look at valuation. Same thing as ArcX. ArcX right now is like 30 cents, 35 cents. Total supply 100 million, so 35 million TDV, total diluted valuation. And if you look at their investor, their latest round of investment announcement that I shared in the Bacon Gems, some of their top investors, they got in between 25 and 65 cents, and their tokens are locked up 6 months. And these are like I'm pretty sure I shared this in Bacon Gems, but if you understand VCs. If you have a general idea of what the good VCs are in this space, I'll give you some names that some of their VCs are. Divergence, Electric Capital, this is a really good one. Hashed, Alameda's kind of shit. Scalar, very fundamentals driven. What else? Dragonfly, another hard hitter. So like if you consider, okay, I'm getting tokens at 35 cents when Dragonfly got in between 25 and 60 cents, and their tokens are locked up, you think, okay, what kind of opportunity is this, right? Is this are they gonna dump? No way. They're investing. So yeah, if you are into kind of investing based on valuations, I think these levels are a no-brainer. And that's why I don't hold any ETH, because I trade it. They're a secondary marketplace, but when it comes to investing, I'm still adding to these two. I don't know how many people will understand that, But yeah, it's what I see. It's like numbers. Okay, reading Augur says, Binance UK and Binance Ontario are changing their regulations and shutting down. Others to follow as governments are putting more regulations. Will that affect the general volume flow in trading for now? Not so much. There's DEXs, right? You can always get around it. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, yeah, I honestly don't think so. It will flow to other places, but it's not like Binance has a monopoly, right? So maybe Binance specific coins will have volume sort of cut down a bit, but nowadays there's so many players. So do I think BSC is done though? I'm not sure. I'm not as well versed following in that ecosystem right now. Okay. All right. That's about the Discord chat I'm seeing. Let's pop out the YouTube chat. So let's see. Sir, which coin I buy now? Please tell me I'm huge loss. You buy the reverse Bitcoin dominance chart, if there's a coin for that. I'm DCAing into coins with tons of hype that are at big discounts from their all-time high, like ICP, Rari, Flow. What do you think about DCAing at this stage? I'm not DCAing in. I'm DCAing out. DCAing out into Bitcoin. I would DCA into Bitcoin right here. And then probably on the Bitcoin pump, I will DCA into ETH, but no altcoins. That's, in my opinion, a terrible idea right now. With BTC dominance going up, does going for the BTC trades do better than stablecoin DeFi farming in the short medium term? Yes, actually. If you look at stablecoin yields right now, they're like, I don't think there's any above 20% right now for actual stablecoins, because a lot of those farms depend on the governance tokens that you're farming. For example, Curve is the most popular one. Their price is going up, but Bitcoin dominance is going up, so altcoins are going down. And with these governance tokens prices going down, the farms APYs go down as well. So I think the highest rates you can get is like around 20% right now, which isn't that high for DeFi terms. That's why, yeah, DCAing into Bitcoin, I think not a bad idea right now. Altcoins, no. I love Shiba Inu coin. Nice, Clash of Wilson. I can't say I love it, but I like dogs.
Shiba has some major announcement coming up, so
that's,
yeah, I think they're doing Shiba swap from July 1st.
You know, that's something I found to be interesting. Like I've throughout like past 2 weeks or so, Shiba has been like #1 trending everywhere, but their price hasn't moved at all. So I gotta look into this. I would treat it as something like similar to Doge. So like it could be decoupled if it's very retail news driven. Like all the retail, all their traders are essentially like all retail. None of them, majority of them don't understand Bitcoin dominance. They don't even, they aren't even able to comprehend like, oh, how my coin is doing, how Shiba coin is doing against Bitcoin. If that's the majority of the crowd, then perhaps it's worth more looking into what Shiba's fundamental like news they're pushing out soon. Probably already priced in. You know, I don't know. I gotta look at what their actual news is, but from my research, like at least TA wise, their coin hasn't like changed in price, but maybe because they're holding up against Bitcoin, that could be why. But then again, are Shiba traders looking at Shiba versus Bitcoin chart even at all? You know, that's something also interesting. Maybe they only look at dollar chart. So Yeah, I have no idea. I gotta look at the news first, so I'll get back to you guys on this. I'll post it in the Bacon Gems chat. Okay. So, Meta Charshu asks, follow-up question, do you think the Canary NFTs will have significant residual value post-R market drop? Oh, you mean the NFTs itself? That I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think even the teams themselves know. It's a very... when you initial sales of NFTs that will later be airdrop tokens, it's a very new model, so I have no idea. There's no precedent to look back on, so it will be very opinion based, and I don't think opinions are valuable, so I'm not going to give random opinions. I see there's a bunch of regulation talk in the Discord chat that I'm not experienced enough to comment on, so I'm not going to jump in there. But yeah, if you guys are interested in talking about this more, just come in the BaconDAO Discord. There will be people that are very interested in this. I like charts, I like numbers, but regulation is way above my head. So yeah. Okay. Looking back at YouTube chat just for a little bit less, last bit. Cool. I see people are shilling sheep and Cardano still. Very cool. Okay, that's about it for today's stream. I think let's try to cut it short. Hour 15 minutes. That's a good length to stop there. This recording will be live as usual on my YouTube channel as well as the BaconDAO YouTube channel. Thanks again for all the contributors that have popped in today. If you have more questions, come in the BaconDAO Discord, drop them in the specific chats. We have, the member chat, the trading floor, the topic chats for BSC, Polkadot, NFT, layer 2, other chains, etc. If you want to talk about DAOs, I'm very active in there. Thanks for attending, everyone. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Looking forward to next week's call. Perhaps we will roll out some type of voting structure to gauge the audience, preferences for next week's call, what they want us to cover a little bit. I'll give you some choices there, top choices. You can rank them, just to start off, start pushing really us towards the immediate DAO narrative. I think that will be very beneficial for you guys. Aside from that, thanks guys. I'll call it here, calling off the stream here. Stay safe out there. Again, Bitcoin mostly still ranging, so conserve your capital. I say this every week to end. Conserve your capital, saving your money and not getting wiped out here is the alpha, because when eventually you're buying back cheap, you're buying back cheap, right? So even though there's no uptrend, not getting wrecked in the downtrend is the thing that people need to see as making money. Yeah, so stay safe, survive, and we'll see the better days ahead. Okay, bye guys.